Hi, everybody, and welcome to another stream. Sorry I didn't do anything last week. I didn't really have a lot to show because I was working on something that I want to show this week. And hopefully it's going to be something interesting to look at least my hope. So, yeah, let's get to some of the updates. Uh, Sorry, I just clicked on opening like a parent class here in one of the blueprints, and it sometimes takes forever for this to open on my machine. Okay, but yeah, welcome. Yeah, happy Saturday, Evans. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, well, so hopefully the audio and the stream is coming in okay. Um, but yeah, some of the updates. One of the things that I was trying to revamp and work on are the footsteps. Namely like the audio coming whenever you step on a specific surface, and trying to. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can raise my volume on my end as well. Not sure if it's the mic is all the way up, so um, yeah, hopefully that's coming in okay. Right. So, yeah, let's take a look at. So, like I said, we have the footsteps, which is it was one part of the work, kind of making those work a little bit more efficient. And also, something that I mentioned last time, I believe, is related to NPC activities. So basically, you have all these friendly NPCs around you, but I don't want them to just kind of randomly move from place to place and that be it, right? I want them to go to a certain location and either like sit down or sleep or get food or something because they're kind of like in a camp, right? Or like in a and also the ones that are hiding in the bunker as well to have specific activities that they can do. So let's get to it. I'll show you what I came up with and also kind of findings after the fact that I didn't realize we already had something for this in the engine. All right, so let's take a look. So right now I have, as you can see, I'm not sure if the audio for the footsteps is coming through, but we have these two NPCs. That right now they were just roaming, but now Sam is coming over and sitting down here, and John is assigned to this activity here. These two activities happen to be sitting, but I've added in sleeping and I believe just like kneeling or kind of squatting down. Yeah, so. Now you can see they finish their activities and they go about their merry ways. And of course, if there's an activity that's open, they will go and do that. That's something that I need to improve on. So if they've done sitting, maybe don't do sitting again and try and do something else. And that's just kind of a little bit of a nuance. But yeah, as you can see, Sam is done with her activity, and now it's just moving away and doing a little bit of a roam until the next cycle in the behavior tree where it's trying to find another activity. So for example, John is moving away as well, and Sam is probably going to come back to this seat and sit down. And now John is going to that one. Uh, right. So, probably could be improved as well. One thing to note that I had to do is whenever the activity, when they enter the space, this kind of this box here, as you can see, the capsule, I'm making the capsule a little thinner, just so that they can actually get closer to this object because this one has collisions, like I can't walk into it, right? So, but I want them to be able to kind of sit in um, a more realistic way and not just look like they're doing a power squat or whatever you call those calisthenics. Oh, hey, Growl, welcome, welcome. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. So yeah, what I wanted to do today is add these activities onto the um, that area where the like the quarantine tent is in that big facility. So Grat, let me know if what you want me to show, combat or like the enemies, some of the enemies and how they behave. Um, yeah, let me know. Okay. And yeah, let's jump into that level. And also I can show you a little bit of I've done a little bit of design work on that level just so that I was pacing out one night and I thought, okay, let's just do some level design. I was trying to figure out this thing. And now that I have this implemented, I actually was chatting with a friend and I found out there's such a thing called smart objects in the engine. And I looked at, I think I mentioned before, Ryan Laley's channel on YouTube, and he actually started working on this, creating a tutorial, uh, probably not so long ago, 3 to 4 weeks. But from watching him do it, and looking at what I did, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stick with what I did for now because it's a very, it's a somewhat convoluted process. Like, there's about 3 plugins they need to enable, at least in the way he implemented it. So there's like smart objects, and fortunately, this is not experimental, but everything else related to it that need to be worked in are experimental things. And besides that, there's like a ton of other stuff that you need to do. So for now, at least, I'm gonna stick with what I've made. And of course, if the tutorial gets refined and there's something that, okay, you know what, this is gonna work better than what I've done, I'm probably gonna do that. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with what I have. Okay, well, so let's add in some of the NPCs. I've actually oh, hey, 3 Die, welcome, welcome. Hello, bonjour. Um Excellent. So yeah, what I wanted to do is let's add I've separated that test level NPCs onto a separate I've placed them on a separate level so that I can load them in here as well. And let's add that in. So that way it might be easier because I've already set some skins to them, and it might be easier for us to get those in. So let me see, where do I have those? This NPC testing level. All right, so let me select these actors and actually bring them in. Oh, they're way over there. So try and just bring them into this area here, and then we'll get them to do some things. Because you don't get the NPC to do something, you don't tell them, okay, do this activity. But they're actually looking through the behavior tree. They're doing a search for the next available activity. So if it's one of those blueprints that is available, they will attempt to do that. All right. So, and the other thing is, along with the you probably notice, those of you that know some of the assets on the marketplace, you probably notice some of them here. Um, yeah, so the what was I gonna say? Yeah, the other part of why I didn't stream, I'm not sure if I shown this already, but was some work that I had to do the um, on the actual meshes themselves, like the NPCs. So as you can see at the moment, I have a couple of metahumans, And as along with them, I have just some random things off of the marketplace. So what I had to do, and that was a little bit of a tedious work, so that's why I didn't part of what I didn't stream, is um, I went about and there's this one package here, for example, that has quite a few. Let me see, where is the section with the body parts? Did I not have it here? Colors. Oh, come on. Oh, look. Um, so what I ended up doing is I broken down a lot of these body parts so that I can kind of create new NPCs out of them easily. So basically, just by duplicating this guy, for example. And the other thing, along with that was parenting those body parts to the my ALS skeleton because not everything on the marketplace is, I mean, it's parented to the mannequin skeleton to some extent, but there's a lot of them that have like kind of the fingers are not in the same place, and yeah, so they they're kind of messy. But yeah, so what I did is, for example, let's take this guy here. Um, so I've broken down all these. This is like I think they call survivor characters, and it was either like on a very discounted sale or that's how I got it. So as you can see, I've broken down into a lot of these parts. Like a bunch of shoes. Kind of the shirts, the jackets, and of course, for the head, I can always use a metahuman and with this body as well. But yeah, let's take a look and just use some of these simple ones at the moment. As you can see, so this one has some pants, and one of the issues is, like they're not they're somewhat modular, let's put it that way. Because, when the original developer made them, they not really made to fit perfectly. So you can see there's like a little bit of a gap here. But they're right now they're all on the ALS mannequin skeleton on the ALS skeleton, so therefore I can use the ALS animations with them. And these ones particularly, the hands are not like all messed up and like kind of fingers are, bent weirdly, but so they work out okay. All right, so let me add some shoes to this guy, and we have a little bit of a variety between this one and this one. Of course, if I change the head, it will look even better. Yeah. So let's add a couple of activities for some of these folks. One thing to note is, if you remember, uh, in the way I set up my uh, AI is through invokers. So these guys won't tick. I mean, won't do anything unless the main character is closing in to a certain distance. And I think I might have shown this before. So let's take a look. If I place in my main character, you'll see how um, the navigation is being affected. So let me actually place this in here. Oh, come on, it froze when I moved it to a separate level. I mean, to the other level. Okay. So now if I was to zoom out, let's see if we can get a feel for how far this guy can go. So we have a navigation bounds volume here, I believe. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this one, I've set it up when we were testing the um, the military vehicles and their ability to shoot at you. So let's make this one a little bit bigger, maybe about 10 times bigger. That should be fine. All right, so yeah, as you can see, the uh, things only happen right around and probably the area is a little big at the moment. I'm still working on that to see if I can work out something better. But But yeah, so with the invokers, um, I guess you can walk around the top of this due to its collision. But yeah, with the invoker setup and main character, only the only AI that's going to tick is within this area. So but as you can see, my navigation mesh mouse volume is, let me see, is it this one? No, that's not that one. Now it's pretty large. So let me see if I can find it. Can we see it? Oh yeah, so actually it's gigantic at the moment. Yeah, so it's actually encompassing almost the entire level. But yeah, so that's the point of the invokers, and that hopefully should help with performance as well as some of these characters not just walking around willy-nilly without the character being around. All right, so let me delete this one because I don't need that in the level. Hey, Omiyaki, welcome, welcome. All right, but now let's add some of those activity points and see if we can get some of these guys to do stuff. One thing that I wanted to also mention is that as you can see, some of them are just they're just playing like a static animation. There's going to be some of these NPCs as well that you can't interact with. They're not going to move around. And yesterday I was just looking at, just out of curiosity, at Dishonored 2 because it does have a lot of areas where there's you know um, friendly NPCs, let's put it that way, or passive NPCs. And yeah, they do have they do have the ones that roam around and they go and do an activity like drink beer or something like that. Go to and sit somewhere. But there's also the ones that like the one that I can think of was one guy just playing dice or somebody else just leaning up against the wall. So there's going to be those NPCs as well. But for those that are not, so in my case, let's take a look at one of these guys. And right now it's just using an animation asset. The other thing I can do and can be done, um, it could be just a um, animation blueprint that kind of has it cycle through a bunch of states. Like this animation is just sitting in this, kind of curled position and not really doing anything but that. But you can have um, animation blueprint that it has him cycling through, maybe sitting in this curl position, stretching his legs, looking up, and something like that. But for the other ones that are actually doing something, what I've set up is a character availability. So there's the one that's using roam is the one that's not, the character is not interactable, but he would go between um, just roaming and then doing activities. So let's set a couple of these to roaming. So let's do this one, and maybe let's do this guy as well. And let's add a couple of activities around here. So NPC activity. And the way I've set this up is it can also take a mesh and you can set up a transform for that mesh. So that way you can have a chair, for them to sit on, and or kind of a bed to sleep on or something like that. Okay, so let's do, this one is going to be sit. Let's maybe do and yeah, there's only three of them that I have at the moment because I'm still working through some of the animations. That's kind of also the point of it. Let's do a sleep over here, and we'll do just place a sleeping bag. So let me make sure that I have this one. Let's see where the sleeping bag is at. Has mesh. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay. So it has a sleeping bag, and we can transform the sleeping bag around depending, because I mean, this has to be tested as well, depending on the animation to see exactly where the point or like the how the animation is being played, right? Because there's some sleeping that I found on Mixamo that are there's kind of sleeping sideways. So all right, so this one's for sleeping. Said this one was for sitting. So let's try and find a chair. Um, see what might work for this, or maybe like a bucket or something that they can sit on. Um, all right, let's try this bench. Oh, not that. I wanted to use the mesh transform here. So with the mesh transform, there's a couple of waypoints that I have in here because let's say when it comes to sleeping, it can just go to that location and just like plop down, like sit down. But when it comes to sitting, the character has to like turn around and actually sit on the bench. So what I did is I have this little arrow pointing down where the character should go to, and then this point here that they should focus on and then sit down basically. So that's why there's these two arrows that I have here. And now let's try and bring this closer to about there. Also, the one thing that you need to verify, that I need to verify in my case, is the um, the navigation mesh, just to make sure that if I move this around, it's not going to interfere where with where it needs to reach. So we'll take a look at that as well. All right, and let's just do two of these at the moment and see how these guys behave. So I believe I've set it on this guy uh, to be roaming. Let me move him out of this area here, and then this guy. All right, let's take a look and see what's going to happen with them. Oh, my bad. I forgot to load that these two levels. So, because these NPCs are on a separate level, and then there's also the quarantine tent here, which is also on its own level. So let's take a look at the level blueprint. And let's see, we have water facility. It's kind of a little bit of a mess of various levels being loaded into here. Let's load the quarantine tent level. Hopefully I'm gonna spell this right. And then one more for let's see, what was the other one? It is called NPCs testing underscore level. All right, hopefully I got these all spelled out correctly. And let's just load these levels along with those. All right, let's compile. And hopefully we get everybody in there. All right, so let's see what these guys are gonna do. They're not doing nothing. Why? Why would that be? Did I not load the navigation mesh? I thought I did. What level was that on? Yeah, it's on the right level. Let's see, what am I missing? Idle status. Let's try that again. I might have to jump back into the other level. Um, I still need to do some cleanup on these activity or like some of these statuses just because yeah, so it's not finding, it's not actually looking for, like the target location. If you take a look at that, um, it's not finding where it's supposed to go. So let me take a look at what's different in the empty level, my test level. Okay, so we do have a name. All right, so it's not interested in these ones. Let's try and go back into the persistent world. All right, so the navigation mesh is working fine. Yeah, and see, this is what I was mentioning about the particular mesh related to the activity, so that the point where it's trying to go to can be reachable. So it looks like it is, and it is covering the entire area. So let's try and debug this one here. And let's go into the behavior tree and we'll try and figure out what's happening. Oh, I know what's happening. My apologies. Another thing that I've added is so when I want these guys to roam, is they're trying to look um, in the world for a did I call it roam? What did I call it? Oh, I might have to go back to the other level. Um, so, because right now, as you can see, they can only go around in that space where that little circle around the player. But if the player moves, or say, can move over here, and well, these guys can move all the way over here as well because they can, get a point in that navigation space, and they can keep on moving and follow you outside of, to whatever. And that's what I don't want. I want them to be in this kind of confined space where they can only navigate or roam within a certain area or distance to this particular blueprint that I've created. But let me see. I forgot what the name of it. What did I name it? One second. Let's see. Where is that? Location descent NPC. Yeah, I guess I need to quickly jump back into this empty level and make sure I'm getting the right name. I thought I named it somewhat intuitive, but I guess maybe I haven't. Okay, so it's a well, it's somewhat intuitive navigation center. So they can only go or roam around this point in this navigation center. Let's go back to the persistent map and we'll add one of those in. So that way, when it tries to find a point to roam, it it looks at this navigation center and only goes around that to a certain distance, or tries to find a point within that distance, within that area. So the point for that being is that they won't try and keep on following you. For example, if that point gets, whenever they generate this random point, gets generated, close to you, right? So let me add navigation center. I actually should be doing like a little circle to show the space of it, but I think placing it there should be fine. All right, let's take a look. So okay, they're starting to navigate, to move around. And at first they're only going to start roaming, but let's see if one of them is going to pick an activity. So there you go. Sam is going to sleep. And then the other guy is going to, oh, and actually set that to sit and not share. But yeah, so there you go. Sam is sleeping over here. And like I said, that's a little bit of the difference between the animations that I need to find when it's laying down versus when it's getting up and when it's doing the idle. They need um, to be similar. So Heavens, in the future, will the NPC be able to interact with each other? Well, so the interaction will be kind of limited, or like they'll be just kind of waving their arms a little bit or trying to do a discussion, not anything too complicated. And I'm still thinking of how to approach that, but yeah, at least for starters, this is um, pretty much it as far as um, kind of the initial what I have planned for the initial kind of pre-alpha little testing world for people to play, because yeah, these guys are going to be placed in this enclosure, so to speak, in this space, and they will be just moving from place to place, but um, these would be kind of the activity points that they'd be able to do. So let's actually throw another one in the mix. Let's actually get this guy. Uh, let's try and change some of his looks, and we'll get him to also roam a little bit around here. But yeah, still, I need to think about how I can do um, the actual interaction between NPCs, and they will also have to be kind of targeted, right? They can't just like walk around and like bump into each other and say, okay, hey, what's up? um, I need to make it kind of just like these activity boxes that I've set up. All right, so let me try and change some of this guy to look a little bit different. Let's give him like a little bit of a head as well. All right, so that way he looks a little different. And now let's see if we can how they're gonna behave. And of course, right now this is pretty pushed as far as how long they go and they how long they go and they stay in that one activity. Let's see who's gonna. So Sam is taking that one, and then this guy. I guess they're both called Sam. He's gonna go take a nap. Yeah, and so this is the idle here, and you can see like the idle. Um, yeah, the fingers are all messed up. All right, so now they're gonna go and roam for a little bit, and let's see who gets. Oh, did I not set this guy to roam? I think I might have just changed its looks, but not the availability. So let's do. Oh, and th these are related to a warning related to the IASCAD. I think I'm using the wrong mesh. So let's set this one to roam as well. And now, so now we should have 3 of them roaming. All right, so they're just like kind of moving to that random location at first. And now, so now this guy apparently took the lead on taking the seat, and this one took the lead at going to sleep. That actually kind of rhymed. And that guy is just left kind of roaming around because there's no activities left available. So now let's see if some of these might change. All right, so there we go. That guy actually took the initiative. I like that. Oh, and this is a little bit of an issue that I'm trying to figure out at the moment. That uh, so he overlapped with this activity here, unfortunately. And so he was targeted to come over here and do an activity, but he overlapped with that one. So I'm trying to do I'm kind of working on that, trying to do a check on it. The one thing that I was looking at it from the beginning was kind of making this interaction box a little bit smaller because once they overlap with it, it sends a interface call to the animation blueprint to actually start, kind of doing the work of, sitting or sleeping or just the kneeling type of part of it. So one thought that I have at the moment is also over each one of these objects, give the ability um, to adjust how big this interaction sphere is, because right now I think it might be a little bit bigger. I mean, a little bit too big. Let me see if I can kind of scrunch it down a little bit. let's take another look at what these guys are up to. All right, so that guy is gonna go and take a seat. This guy's going sleeping. Where's the big guy? Oh, there he is. I kind of lost him. That's an interesting little little effect. And these guys are okay. I got kind of not necessarily worried, but it looked a little odd that they kind of collided with each other. But the good thing is that it it found a new place to roam, basically. All right, so that one looks good. This one looks good over here. As you can see, once it leaves that space where the activity is taking place, the capsule comes back to its normal size. So that way, we can do obstacle avoidance a little bit better. So let's see, this guy is coming back to have a seat. Okay, well, I guess after a hard day's work, you gotta sit down. And that guy's going to sleep, also hard day's work. Yeah, so basically this was like kind of the main update that I wanted to show. Um, I it was it's actually quite nice to look at comparing it to the NPCs just randomly going from place to place. Um, like in this case, you since there's going to be like some of those guys that are going to be in here being sick, laying down, there might be somebody to that would, come check on them or, do an activity over here, like come up and, pick up a notebook. It also reliant on what I can find for animations because again, that's that's a big part of this. And um, yeah, uh, that was um, uh, that was the main update. Hoping you like that. It's should be able to give a little bit more of a living in world. And of course, once I have all these guys in place, it's probably going to look even better. Right now, it's just um, it's completely random. Like I literally just placed a sleeping bag and a chair with no connection to what's going on inside this tent here. There's going to be more than one tent in this space. That's why I removed those. I was kind of considering of keeping them in place, those hangers, but at the same time I was like, you know what? Um, it's just going to add too much to the world, and I didn't really feel it. But I'm still debating on that at the moment. All right. So another thing that I was experimenting with a little bit is kind of these roads and how I can make them blend better with the side of the road. And the way I ended up doing that is everything here. Well, part of it there's a few splines just so that I can give a little bit of variety in so that the texture is not as repeating. But most of this is um, through landscape splines, and currently this one here is part of the landscape spline. But each one of these points has different. Let's see, where is it? On the control points, has different mesh vertical offset. So that way, when the mesh itself blends in with the terrain, because this material also has like a runtime virtual texture setup to it, it does this pretty nice looking blending here. Because if I was to turn that off, let's see if I can show you how that would look. The If I turn off the blending, Yeah, so it's still not terrible, but you definitely see where I'm going with this. And turning on that runtime virtual textures, there he goes. It's making it look quite a bit better. So that was another thing. Also worked on placing some more of these piping around here, and I'm gonna end up sticking with this set of pipes. The main reason to it is they're really easy to work with, and I don't know what about pipes, but I just love the placement and how you can like build this stuff with it. So while these ones look pretty cool, um, they don't really, how should I put this? They work together to some extent. I guess that they might be better for like enclosed spaces, maybe ceilings and the like. I can definitely see that they're working much nicer on us. I'm wondering if maybe that's what they were envisioned for initially. Like, you'd have this piece that would be on a ceiling, like that. And some of them you can connect to each other, but yeah, for me, I can see this better, going on the ceiling and not so much on the ground. But yeah, that's just me. So with these ones being kind of a big size, it's pretty easy to just well, I was planning actually for this stream to continue on connecting some of these pipes into the tanks and into these these tanks here and into the uh, what would you call these? Like these mm, basins, I guess. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Heavens. Yeah, I've definitely tried to make them seem like a more well in my eyes, at least a more realistic sizing idea. Yeah, and the one thing that this is going to play into, since there's going to be a few enemies around here, I wanted to also work on, like placing some of these boxes, these delivery boxes, because yeah, there's a little bit of delivery system into the water supply of the town that kind of got some people sick, and they brought things in here, so. Uh, yeah, there's going to be some enemy NPCs, and I wanted to place some of these boxes out here just for um, the stealth aspect of you know throwing a distractor and taking the NPCs out quietly or the enemies out quietly, so that way you can exit this area and uh, and reach over here. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's do a little bit of world building. I think, like I said, the main thing that I liked about that particular that particular pipe was that it had it had some variety to it. So I think that was the main thing that I kind of liked. There were like multiple pipes on it, and but this should work as well. I mean, I'm okay with how this is being fed into here. All right. Well, I'm going to start with duplicating these. And the main thing is having it on the grid. That was like uh, a tremendous help. Having that on the grid right now, I think it's at a five units. It could have been a little bit smaller, but I guess five it is. So just going to go ahead and copy these pieces here. And my hope is that it's just going to connect right up to this one. At least that's what my goal is. Make sure that I'm going to be in the right level before I start copying these things around. Yeah, so what I'm hoping by next week when it comes to those NPCs areas that I'm going to have this area a little bit more built out and be able to show you a little bit more of even NPC dialogues. I mean, dialogues with the NPCs that are in there. So that would involve generating some of the dialogues, some of the, the facial animations for the metahumans, because those are the ones they're going to be able to interact with. All right, let's see how this is going to work in here. Hopefully it's gonna come right into place. Oh, it's almost there. There we go. Oh, that's nice. All right, so I think the easiest part for me would be to modify where these things are at, just so that you know, I can center it a little bit more around the pipes. And let's jump into here. That might make it a little bit easier to see where the center line is. I think it might be right around there. Okay, so that looks good there. Let's also move this one. Try and center it to about there. And this one here, let's see how they look. I'm not sure if they're a little too close. Actually, they look okay. I'm okay with that. And I'll need to adjust the visibility of the terrain here for a bit. And so those two are close together over there. Do I want this one to be a little farther apart? Um, let's see. I think what I might do is I might just scale one of these pipes that connects into this. And so let's do that because I like the distance between these two and then these ones being a little closer. Not sure how much that's the beauty sometimes about game design. You can take some liberty with the uh, engineering aspect of things. All right, so this one is going to go, let's put it to about there. And what I can do here is actually just scale this down. There. Okay, and let's try and reposition these a little bit better. I've actually seen some folks that had developed some of these like pipe add-ons, I believe, um, that looked pretty cool, I think. There we go, that's pretty decent. All right, let's make sure that this one is also try and center it as best as we can, which is actually pretty centered already. See if we can do a little bit better. There we go, I think that's centered right there. Oh, and I actually forgot with this one, I also need to move our little axis. Let's try and place this. Yep, I think that's centered there. Okay, cool. I think the opening for this one might still be okay. Let's just move those. Sometimes when you move these things around, the runtime um, texture does not get regenerated, and you might just have to kind of nudge it up and down to get that redone. Here, there we go. So this is what I meant, you know. Okay, so that looks good around there. Let's take a look over here. This has a couple of gaps that I need to fix in the terrain. And same with this one, not too big. Should be an easy fix. Let's do that. So paint, actually, yeah, I always get confused. It's um, under sculpting. Let's paint this back in and basically cut it out, paint it out of the world. And the same thing over here. All right, there we go. Those are in place. We have kind of the main pipes coming into here, and they're centered, so the smaller ones can be linked right off of that. I mean, they're a little bit, these ones are a little bit off center, but I mean, I think it's more like the main ones to be as centered as possible. Okay, one thing that I'm just noticing here is I think after the move, let's actually paint the layer that has nothing on them. There's some floating little rocks, and you can see around here a little bit as well. Let's paint that in. Cool. Okay, that looks good. Let's extend this out a little bit. Yeah, and I have to say, I definitely love this runtime virtual texture just so that you get this really nice, you know, kind of blending uh, between a mesh and the terrain, especially when it comes um, to completely different looking surfaces. You know, like this concrete would not really match. You know, kind of there'd be like that sharp line. And you can do like a pixel depth offset, of course, that can help with that transition, but it never really looks. I mean, it looks okay. You know, it's better than nothing. Let me put it that way. All right. Well, let's continue on with some of these pipes, and like I was saying, try and link them into somewhere into this system here. The one thing that I wish there was a little bit more of here is, and I might just use one of these tanks. Um, let's see how that might look. Because I wanted to have a little bit kind of more than one pipe coming out of it. Right now, there's no, this particular package only has like, you know, the straight pipe and the bent pipe, you know, which is great. But but I wanted to have something coming out of this, you know, that'd be like more than one. So let's see if we can make something with this. Not sure how that's gonna look, but maybe we can create something. Maybe like kind of like an initial filtration system. I'm starting to think from like the what would an engineer do? All right, so let's take a look. If this one goes in here, see if we can connect it to a proper location over here. All right, so that looks like it's connected into it. And there's like multiple things that can come out of it, which is good. Kind of the small pipes can probably come out of this one. And let's see, this one seems to be in the right spot almost. Let's see if we can make it a little bit better. There we go. Okay. And yeah, the nice thing about this mesh is that I can always export it out. And since there was, it looks like these two are, they're not really connected, like in the terms of the texture itself, I can always add another one of these, which I actually should do, I think. Hmm. Yeah, so will there be a ceiling pipe or a smokestack from a building with animated ventilation? Well, so there will be like kind of this central pipe here, but that's still I was just playing around with it for a little bit. That had some of this kind of like steam coming out of it, but yeah, I'm still deciding on that, to be honest. Yeah, thank you for asking, Heavens. All right, well, let's see. So this one is sitting kind of high up. Mm, I'm trying to also make this look like it might have use, right? Uh, Not just kind of what was this guy thinking, you know? But also try to have them have like a somewhat of a purpose. Let me try and get hey Mikey's or Milky's. Hey, welcome. How are you? Hopefully I said that right. All right, let's try and get another pipe over here. So the game is called literally just the name of the stream on your own. Because yeah, I'm working on it on my own, and it's an action adventure single player. Let me see how should I put this? It's a first person single player action adventure game, and it's definitely a big inspiration for me is kind of the world of Far Cry. So you might see there's kind of similarities in vegetation. If I was to zoom out a little more, also a little bit of the world um, is kind of designed that way. The world is a lot smaller, of course, but there's like some locations, like say a mobile home park. There's like a little village over here that I think I have it hidden at the moment. Yeah, so let me see. I think I can. Where is that? The residential houses. So there's kind of this little residential area over here. Also, like kind of just would call it facilities, but like a motel, like a laundromat. Let me show these real quick as well. So, like a laundromat over here. And apologies for this, it's just the shaders that are probably compiling. And let's see, like a gas station, convenience store, a motel over here. Let's see, motel. There we go. So kind of like that one over there. Like a warehouse area over here, just to kind of make it look like it's being lived in. Yeah, that's a good point. What did I name these? I thought I named it warehouse. Thank you for asking. Delivery warehouse. Okay, so there's this area over here as well where there's going to be some interiors and of course a few enemies around here. Some of the stories is going to be it's going to have a couple of missions related to this area. You know what? I actually haven't. I mean, if people are interested, I can do that. I can like do a little bit of drive around. So yeah, you know what? Let's do that. That's actually a good idea. Let me see where my car is because I think it might be easier to just drive it around. Oh, and the one thing that I forgot is let me see because I need to load all the levels. Oh yeah, yeah, totally. That's a great idea. But let me make sure that I'm loading the levels that I need to. So I have the convenience store. The one thing that I'm not gonna load is maybe some of the interiors and like the bunker level. Um, but let's actually take a look. So I have the water facility, the quarantine tent. I'm not gonna load the NPCs. Let's actually not load the tent either. But I need the convenience store. Um, let's do the motel, the delivery warehouse. Where was the other one? Um, the gas store, the gas station. Where is that one? And this is actually a good. Thank you so much for asking, Heavens. That was a good, definitely a great request, because I never really had that set up. I mean, I need to set it up here in the persistent map. Though when you play the game, it might not be in here. It might be through the way the world is being loaded in. So let's see. I have the. Let me make sure that let's check this again. So lighting. The map itself, water facility, the convenience store exterior level. Oh man, I need to solve this spaghetti somehow. Um, this is also related to the convenience store, then the motel level, the delivery warehouse. Oh, the laundromat. I forgot about that one. So this might perform like potatoes because I haven't really optimized these levels very well. At least not at the moment. So let's do laundromat. But I think we should be able to enter a couple of them at least. I think the laundromat, if I recall correctly, let me move this to the side because it's got this stupid thing, which I don't get, is whenever you're like in the persistent where you have this opened, you can't see the levels. Like the level window hides when you open this. Who came up with that idea? Anyways. All right, so let me see. I have the laundromat. Did I spell the laundromat? Laundromat underscore level. Yep, I have that. The delivery warehouse. The gas station. I didn't do the gas station yet. No, I didn't do the gas station. Let's do the gas station. So do you group the level streaming nodes by how close the locations are to each other? That was one of my ideas as well. I'm still debating because one thing that I was trying to do initially was to actually load everything and then hide or unhide the ones that you're either close to or you're gonna be, getting into. Excuse me. But I'm still in uh, kind of working that out. Okay, so And so that's the laundromat. And which one did I say? The gas station. Okay, well, let's see. I'm hoping I got everything. If not, we can adjust. And also, let me see where the car is. I'm actually gonna move the player start. Oops, I need to adjust this water volume here. So let me move the player start closer to, let me see, where's the SUV first? Oh, it's over here. So I think we can start from here in the kind of the town area. Yeah, and I still need to adjust um, some of the vegetation around the town because I did do some painting around here, so it didn't turn out so good. All right, let's see. Hopefully, I didn't introduce any issues, especially when it comes to driving the vehicle and interacting with the vehicle. So yeah, this is might take a little bit of time loading all these levels. There we did I not load the residential homes? I guess so. Yeah, that's a good one. So I forgot about the residential houses. Okay, 1 second. My apologies. Let's do the residential houses as well. And I believe actually we should be able to enter one of the houses as well, like the one that I kept on showing before when you rescue some of the NPCs. Like actually take them into the vehicle and they join you in the vehicle. So and I actually should have made this whoa, there's some weird scaling with that little um this gigantic guardrail over here. There's some odd things sometimes that happen with the splines, with like the road splines that I can't really tell why. All right, so these guys are inactive. Don't worry, they're not one of the ones that actually shoot at you. Uh-oh. No. I forgot about that part. Now, I guess I need to set something up for the vehicle where you can, kind of right yourself. And, oh, this is a good one. Like the camera got left tilted from the vehicle. Okay, so that's a good thing to test. Huh. This is always awesome when people ask to do stuff and I just run into some issues because I would not have probably noticed that before. So let's kind of I'll try and park a little farther away this time from the from that hole in the ground. Oh yeah, and I mean this one still works, the GPS itself. Let's actually make it full screen. Yeah, so but I need to reset it because it's as you can see it's not really showing the updating anymore. So I need to reset the missions themselves. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let me see if I can make it run a little bit better by closing a ton of these windows that I still have open in here. Because each one of these open tabs is kind of sucking away the life of my computer. All right, it seems to be working a little bit better now, but all right. So not sure if there's any audio coming through. Let me adjust um, the desktop audio, and hopefully it's not going to be too loud. Let me know if that works out okay. So Milky, I started creating my game in UE5 and I'm a beginner. How do I attach weapons to my character in RTS mode? Um, well, so there's always like I'm not sure if you've checked any tutorials on YouTube, but there's a bunch of developers and one that comes to mind is okay, perfect. Hmm, why is this still tilted? That's so weird. Okay, yeah, so this one is enterable. Works out okay, I guess with Lumen definitely looks pretty good. And so Milky's, I would definitely look through like a series of tutorials to kind of not just jump into how do I attach a weapon, because a lot of people, like I've had a lot of people asking me like some, and this is not necessarily an advanced subject, but they've kind of jumped into like the deep end of the pool and then they get stuck and they get frustrated. So the way I started was, kind of just going through the basics, through like a series of videos from. There's quite a few folks that do that out there. There's a guy called Ryan Laley. There's Matt Aspland, Aspland, and they actually do some really good work for these, and I highly recommend you start with that. And I believe a part of their series is a shooter, and they explain how to attach weapons as well, which is awesome, I think. All right, let's go. And oh, actually, here was the oh, Code Like Me. Yeah, that's another one. But I think one thing that I definitely like his videos, but sometimes he's like a little all over the place. Like they seem to be recorded in a um, freestyle fashion, so to speak. So he's kind of in some of the videos I've seen that they're not really planned out. But yeah, he's a really good developer. So in the end, you'll get stuff out of that video, even though it could be done in 10 minutes, and he's taking like 40 because he's trying to find some things sometimes. But yeah, he also has series of videos, and they're pretty well put together as well. All right, well let's go to the next location that we can enter and walk around. Let's see. So this one's the motel over here. Um, let's go over to the warehouse. I'm wondering if the NPCs spawned over here. Wow, this car is really underpowered. Because if they did, and they sure did, let's actually run over one of them. Whoa. All right, so that's one way to eliminate enemies. I guess it could have been more interesting to see it from the driver's perspective, but okay. So here's the interiors of again, these are just the assets from the marketplace, but trying to make them work within the project itself. I think the gearing, like I think there's a way to set the gearing on a wheeled vehicle, and that might be the one that's screwing these up. Because I mean, it it's definitely kind of a slow car. Okay, so towards the left is where the bunker would be. So Milky's, that's definitely what I recommend because it's easy to just, look it up on YouTube. How do I attach something? And it's, it's with, if you're looking for the specific node, the node is called like attach to component. And there's like a lot of ways to do it, right? There's like attach actor, there's like attach component. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. Definitely one of those series of tutorials because at least that way you get an idea of, what is it, soup to nuts, soup to bolts. How they're actually working that out. So, all right, well let's cut it through the woods a little bit over here. I'm hoping I'm not gonna flip this vehicle because I have no. Oops, easy, easy, easy. I have no way of flipping it back. At least it's going faster downhill. Hey, Spurdunky, yeah, definitely going for a little bit of a cruise. I loaded all the levels in the world and definitely going for a little bit of a cruise right now. I'm gonna need to adjust this vehicle because it's pretty honky. Uh, it definitely doesn't drive very well. I mean, it drives. Let's put it that way. The interactions are great, but the physics, the way it behaves, it's kind of off. All right, so let's go towards this other end of the map. We'll probably go by the facility, and I'm gonna try not get too close to it because those enemy trucks are gonna get kind of upset. But I need to take it to the shop exactly. Yeah, so actually, yeah, that kind of looks okay-ish. Doesn't look too bad. But yeah, as you can see, Milky's is still, I do have some inspiration from Far Cry, and plus I definitely have a love for the conifer trees, which. All right, so and like in most of those other video games, all the exits off of this location slash world are blocked. They're like through tunnels, and the tunnels somehow are like collapsed or kind of blocked by something. Right now, that's not in. I didn't put that in place just yet, but I just wanted to show you, kind of driving to one of them, and just how that would look. Oops, oops, oops. Brake, brake, brake. All right, so let's back out of it, um, and we'll actually go. Because this is kind of like the southern part of the map. So let's go by the water facility to the other corner. And again, Heavens, thank you so much for asking me because I've never done this before, and it's a really good way to gauge how long it takes to get from place to place. And the map being, I think the map is about 2 by 2 kilometers. If you take away the sides, it might be a little smaller. But yeah, this is great to have tried this out. All right, so let's go to the other corner of the map where um, basically kind of getting past this the facility here that the NPCs are being quarantined at. So like those are going to be like right there. And I'm noticed a little bit of an issue here that the camera is looking through the body of the thing. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so yeah, that's the entrance to the facility there. And towards this end, there's just another exit. Not really anything going on. Oh, hey, Atlan, welcome, welcome. How are you? Yeah, so let's on keep on going towards this end for a little bit. And I need to paint the terrain a little bit better over here. Yeah, and I guess I still need to clean this up. But yeah, so this road kind of ends right here for now, but this is pretty much close to the edge of the map. Um, yeah, that's exactly the Atlan. That's exactly what I did. But apparently something is missing in the vehicle, which I don't really know, and I need to figure out what. All right, so let's go back and we'll kind of head on back towards the town and go to the left side, which is the other exit, um, just to kind of take you down those paths as well. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting a quick message. All right, sorry about that. Yeah. All right. Well, so let's get back here, and this is definitely like going through pretty much almost all the roads in the game itself. Come on. I'm gonna go uphill here, so it might choke for a little bit. Man, it's like a lawnmower. Not sure if you can hear it, but it's like it got stuck into like second gear or something. The gearing is really bad. All right, so let's turn on this way. Basically, this road brings you back into the town, and to the left here, there's going to be another exit, which again just through a tunnel that is blocked. I think I can pedal faster. Yeah, let's turn this way as well, just to take it to that end. And I'm definitely gonna adjust how this works, this particular like vehicle, hopefully, because yeah, look at this. Oh man, I never actually took this one for, like I said, for a drive of ex for extended periods of time to see how well it runs, but and I need to take a look at this kind of popping in of the vegetation. I need to address that a little bit better. All right, but yeah, but here's the other end of the map. Um, oh yeah, 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 Atlam. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the other message. You can also create dynamic materials on. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that was the other thing that I was thinking of doing, either the dynamic material. But what I do is I usually hide the head, like the entire head itself. So like that skeletal mesh is, I just hide that. And I know this car has like a flashlight, but I can't remember which one was the, oh, there it goes. So, kind of just looking at it through the flashlight. I need to address this one because the tunnel itself was not really made for, it was made for a subway, so not necessarily the size of two vehicles. So I need to, kind of touch on that mesh a little bit. Oh, and thank you. Glad you like it. And you can yeah, you can drive all the way into the bunker if you want. I don't think I actually loaded the bunker with this one. I've only loaded the exteriors. Not in the tunnel. So the tunnel will be blocked basically, and those doors are not. I'm probably gonna remove them. Or I might keep one of them, but I might remove it for some of the other sections. One second. Let me try something here. Oh, and I actually forgot. Maybe part of that's why it's running so slow is that I have another instance of Unreal Engine open. That couldn't help. And of course, some meshes open like in the editor. So let's see if that still staggers a little bit. Not sure why it started staggering right now. There we go. Now it works a little bit better. Let's see actually where we're at with frames. Um, not too good. At least not in this testing that I'm doing right now. I'm not sure why it's like kind of having with the hiccups. What is easy? All right, so let's go through town into the other exit, and whoops, that was a little bit too much off-roading. And yeah, a big part of this is that these levels are not optimized like, to the point of, I'm guessing this area here still needs a little bit of TLC. And yes, the grasses, everything that's on the ground is through the terrain, and yeah, and this is another thing that I'm sometimes frustrated with the splines that it did not sculpt this area properly. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so like none of these levels, or at least especially the ones that are pretty big, they do not have H-Lods built. So actually, let's go around town for a little bit, just to a couple of the locations. Ooh, easy, easy. Just kind of a couple of the cul-de-sacs. Yeah, see, I need to figure out why it's getting this stutter. And this is what I meant about this kind of terrain popping through the ground is an issue with the spline itself not being able to sculpt it properly. So I need to work that out a little bit better. So yeah, like I was saying, all these locations they have like a ton of meshes, and of course once you build H-Lods, those get compressed down quite a bit better, and they should run a lot better. And I think these houses are not, if I recall correctly, they're not enterable. Yeah, none of these are just now. And the one that it is, let's take a look at that one. We can quickly do a drive down there. That's not supposed to say closed door. And on the left, there's like another little cul-de-sac with some houses on that side. Yes, I use footstep. Um, a line trace for the footsteps. Oh, what did it get hung up over there? Oh, actually, this house, this is kind of this house over here is the one that related um, to the story, and I did not, or at least one of the missions, and I did not load it, so my apologies. All right, let's go to the other side of the world. This guardrail is so funny. Yeah, and for the footstep trace, I use that mainly to determine what surface material I'm on, just so that I know what sound to play. Whether you're on concrete, whether you're on grass, or so on and so forth. All right. Well, where's the road? Oh, there it is. I guess this is a tight little turn here that I did not notice, especially because I did not paint this yet. Or I didn't paint the terrain layer so that the vegetation is not being painted there. All right, well, so this way is where the mansion of one of the baddies is located, and we did some work in a previous stream. This is supposed to be like a little bit of a river coming through here, going into one of the water bodies that I need to finish it off. Oh, and there's another one of the vehicles. And the last exit off of the world is going to be this way. And yeah, this is, whoa, whoopsie. I guess that's where it ends. Um, just because I forgot that the I forgot that the bridge is part of the mansion level, which I did not load. But anyways, and thank you for joining in that tour of the On Your Own world. And yeah, so the last exit is going to be through here. As you can see, it still needs a little bit of sculpting on the terrain side of things and kind of expanding this out a little bit. Um, yeah, and this one, I think we've looked at it previously. I need to move all these rocks onto like the actual main world and not what was I gonna say? Because right now it's still on the uh, mansion level. Oh, outline. So I made a footstep trace component myself, super easy. Just add two on character and all your animation have sound. Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's I was thinking of converting what I had to a component as well because yeah, it's pretty it would be a lot easier to just add it to the specific character that you want to um, have it create sound for this for steps. I just didn't get around to doing it, unfortunately. So I definitely plan on tightening some things up, so to speak. Oh, thank you, Heavens. Yeah, it's been a fun thing to have. But again, it was the world itself started off from this Nordic conifer biome, and let me put it that way, it started off from there. But for the size itself, it was a nice looking terrain, and it was easy for me to go about and just start manipulating, and adding in basically all these locations, the kind of the roads between it. As you can see, I think once you zoom out, you can see the roads a little bit better, I think. And yeah, it's again, it's a small map. It's not anything big, but as you can see, it was It was quite a bit of driving that we had to do between locations. So it should give some play time. Alan, you need a airport, maybe Daisy style. Yeah, that's you know, as far as the how big the location is, it wouldn't really make too much sense. What I'm thinking more in terms of one of those bigger space locations would be either a farm or like a small little field airport, for um, for like kind of Cessna size airplanes, but nothing big, like just to be kind of like a dirt track kind of thing. Um, so hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, that exactly. Go crop duster out. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Um, so Atlam, your ending looks like. What do you mean? Like the ending of the game, or? Yeah, I was about to, not sure if you if you haven't seen this, but earlier I was showing some of the NPC activities. And if you want to see that, I can show it to you right now. It's actually kind of interesting. Um, and anybody else that just joined. So let me jump back into here, persistent map. So I'm not gonna load everything on this round. Excuse me. Well, let's actually load these levels. Yeah, well, so this is actually it's something off of the marketplace that I went about and I started tweaking again. This is called like I think a water facility, no, or a tank cleaning center or something like that. I think yeah, and but yeah, the walls itself, they're kind of, a little bit part of the story, a little bit of why these people are quarantined here and what's their spiel. But let me get the start because that was one of the things that I focused on these past couple of weeks. One of the reasons that I didn't stream last week, and that was kind of working with these working on these NPCs, the friendly NPCs, so that they have some activities to do, right? Well, but so they're not just running from point to point at random and not really doing anything. And it's right here. So I can show you something that I was showing earlier in the stream. And actually, that kind of brings me to one last thing that I wanted to test is I am not entirely sure if how the collisions are looking for this tent itself. Let's try that out real quick, and I think that would be like the last thing to do. Main character player. Let's add this guy in here, just so that I can tell where the navigation. You can go through the navigation. Oh, I guess it's proper collisions. That's awesome. All right, perfect. Yeah, exactly. Farming and stuff. That's what I'm doing here. And let's take a look. I later found out that you can actually have them. There's like a thing called like a smart objects in Unreal, and I kind of looked into it through Ryan Laley's videos. He has a couple of he started on a series with that, but they are not. It's quite complicated. I thought it was going to be simpler, but there's like three plugins that I need to enable, two of them which are experimental, and I'm okay with beta. I'm not really okay with I have not had great success with anything that's called experimental. So yeah, wow, that frame rate is kind of sucks. I need to do something about that. Oh, there you go. Now it came back to normal. I'm not sure. So yeah, this is what they do. You know, they go about and they do this activity for a little bit and they get up and they resume their roam. Let's see if there's gonna be another guy coming down to sit on this pleasant bench in the quarantine tent. Any takers? Any takers? Oh, that's this guy. How you doing, boss? He looks upset. But he's sitting down, so let's see who's slipping. Who's the guy that's gotta be? Oh, he just got up. Oh no, there's this guy is coming over. Is he gonna come over to take a nap? Oh, no. Oh, it's that guy. Is that guy? I wish I would have I forgot to name them to put different names on these because like right off the bat they start with the name Sam. So there he goes. So now he's like doing the activity, and I think the other guy might be in here. There he is. Okay, he's done with it. Um, and he's getting up, which I need to fix that animation of him getting up. Off you go. Let's see, is the other guy coming over here? Oh, he's already here. It was prompt. Alan, you made those AI behavior yourself an asset. These are particular assets, right? You know, they're just like a regular blueprint. But yeah, I kind of run these through the behavior tree to determine which one of these is available. So as you can see, there's like only two activities and there's three NPCs. So whoever behavior tree is taken at the time and picks up this activity is going to be locked into that, and the other ones are not going to be they're not going to be like coming over and sitting on top of him, right? That's kind of the whole point. And what I can do for this particular little blueprint, I can set up an activity to do, you know, like chair, and also set up the mesh, you know, so like the mesh it's set up on its own little blueprint. Also, so the arrow pointing down is where they should go, and then uh, this little ball here is where they should focus, because especially when it comes to like I was saying this earlier, when it comes to a seat, um, you can't just like go to that location and however you're pointed, go ahead and sit down. You know, you have to like orient the character. So that's why I have this. Uh, but yes, that's what I wanted to show you as well. And hopefully tomorrow we'll do a little bit more of this. I'll try and stream again tomorrow as well. Um, but um, but I think that's gonna be it for me for today. Um, Appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully it was something interesting. Hopefully you learned something or um, um, you know you got some pointers or something. And I'll definitely see you tomorrow. Alum, so are you interested in showing how you made that in a type of tutorial? Oh yeah, no, definitely that's a great idea because it's actually not that complicated, to be honest. The only thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to muddy the waters because, like I said, Unreal has this way of doing things with the smart objects, which from looking, like I said, I follow Ryan Laley and looking at his tutorials, they just seem like there were too many dependencies on one behavior. Like I was thinking, yeah, you just go in here, like plugins and look for smart objects and enable smart objects. But there's actually like along with this one, there's like two other ones in his tutorial at least. I'm not sure if it's gonna be any different in other approaches. And I'm still trying to look them up and see if they're a valid way to go. The only thing that I'm usually on the fence about is plugins, right? So um, I uh, I don't think no, he didn't use EQS. He didn't use EQS. And that's the thing, I don't really I'm okay with EQS, but overall I don't really like it too much. I get there's like some uses that I have, for like generating cover points and such. But when I'm trying to search for an available item in the world, I think it's, just doing it through the behavior tree, like as a task is just as easy. Um, but that's a great point. I'll definitely look into this and see how easy I can write this up because I have to start it from scratch to begin with. Um, kind of uh, in my test, kind of tutorial project, I need to figure out a way to set it up. First of all, you have ALS, right? So, and then you have the behavior tree, and then you have this particular item, which is this is actually a very simple blueprint. So, yeah, let me see if I can get all my ducks in a row, and I can definitely give that a shot to see how a tutorial might look because I was trying to figure out a tutorial to do some more tutorials on my channel. I think the one that I'm gonna try to do next, and I keep on postponing, is the one with the dynamic credits. The one that I kept on threatening people that I'm gonna do. It's just kind of the real world and the adulting type of activities take some time. So, not yeah, definitely. Let's chat on Discord. That's why we have it, and we can definitely put our heads together on this. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your Saturday. And like I said, I plan to see you tomorrow. And if you'll definitely see it. I'm gonna either schedule it on YouTube, post it on some of the Discord channels, and hopefully I'll see you then. All right, y'all take care. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye.